When most of us think about Parkinson's, we picture one thing, right? But what if I told you the real battle, the biggest challenges, are things we can't even see? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a really surprising connection, one between balance and memory. It's a link that's changing everything, and we'll look at the incredible tech that's helping to fight back.
So let me ask you, when you hear Parkinson's disease, what's the very first thing that pops into your mind? Just take a second. Got it? Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's one very specific, very visible thing.
Yep, it's tremors. That's what everyone knows, and for good reason, right? It's often the most obvious physical sign you can see.
But that's just a tip of the iceberg. Seriously, there is so much more going on beneath the surface, a whole world of challenges that we're going to dive into right now. Okay, so first things first, let's get on the same page. Parkinson's is way more than just a movement disorder. We're talking about a super complex neurodegenerative condition, and it affects over 10 million people all across the globe.
All right, so here's the deal. Parkinson's is a progressive disease, and it's all about the loss of these specific neurons that make dopamine. Now, that loss is what causes the motor problems we all know about, but, and this is a huge but, it also causes these major non-motor symptoms, things like a decline in thinking and memory and real trouble with balance. And those are the hidden challenges we're really going to focus on.
So, you've got these two big buckets of problems, physical stability and cognitive function. And believe me, they have a massive impact on someone's day-to-day life. Let's break them down.
Okay, on one side, you've got physical instability. And look, this is not just being a little wobbly. We're talking about a shuffling kind of walk or something called freezing of gait, where it literally feels like your feet are glued to the floor and just constantly struggling to hold your posture. Then, on the other side, you've got cognitive decline. That means having a tough time with planning, with solving problems, even with your basic working memory. Now, you'd think these are two totally separate issues, right? Well, turns out they're not.
And this instability, it has a very real and, frankly, a very dangerous consequence: falls. Just look at this number. A staggering 60% of people with Parkinson's fall at least once a year. I mean, think about that. These aren't just little tumbles. They can lead to serious injuries, trips to the hospital, and a real loss of independence. It is a massive, massive problem.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. This is the big reveal. These are not two separate crises. They are deeply, fundamentally connected. New research is showing this incredible link between the physical side, the balance problems, and the cognitive side, the memory issues.
And the key to this whole mystery? It's buried deep inside the brain, in a part called the basal ganglia. You can think of it like the brain's central command center. It's in charge of coordinating our movements, sure, but it's also a huge player in cognitive stuff like planning and memory. And in Parkinson's, this is ground zero. This is the exact area where those dopamine-making neurons are disappearing.
This really says it all, doesn't it? Basically, if someone with Parkinson's has really bad balance issues, they're much more likely to have cognitive problems too. And it works the other way around. Why? Because it's the same part of the brain that's getting hit. The symptoms are tangled up together. It's not some weird coincidence. It's a direct consequence of the disease itself.
So, just figuring this out, understanding this link, is a huge breakthrough. But how in the world do you measure something like that accurately? Well, that's where some pretty amazing technology comes into the picture. It's giving scientists the hard data they've been looking for.
First up, we've got something called StepSense VR. Now, this is really cool. It uses just a simple video camera, but combines it with some seriously powerful machine learning. What it does is it tracks a person's every move and creates a VR avatar of them, right there in real time. It's basically a gamified system that gives super precise feedback and analysis on how someone walks and balances.
So here's how it works. The system puts people through a few different challenges. First, it does some pretty standard balance tests. But then, it really turns up the heat. It throws in a cognitive task, like the Stroop test. You know the one where you see the word blue written in red ink and you have to say red, not blue? Now imagine doing that while also trying to keep your balance. It's brilliant because it's testing both systems at the exact same time. And finally, it analyzes your walk at different speeds in different directions to build this complete 3D picture of your movement.
Okay, so that's the balance part. Now, for the brain side of things, researchers use this device called CogniView Clarity. This thing is FDA cleared and it gives a really thorough cognitive screening in, get this, just 10 minutes. You do it yourself, and this is the really smart part, it's adaptive. That means it gets harder or easier in real time depending on how you're doing.
So what's it actually looking for? Well, it breaks it down into 4 main areas. You've got memory, obviously, then executive function, which is basically your ability to plan and pay attention. Then there's discrimination, how well you can tell different things apart. And finally, visuospatial memory, which is all about your sense of space. It gives a way more detailed picture than just asking someone to remember a list of words.
And it does all this with a series of 8 little games. It's pretty clever. First, it'll test if you can tell the difference between letters, words, shapes, that kind of thing. Then a little bit later, it'll test if you can remember those same things. It's like a quick, comprehensive workout for your brain that spits out real, objective data on how it's doing.
Okay, so we've got all this data. Cool. But what's the point? Why does it matter? Well, it's because this isn't just about understanding the problem better. It's about actually building the future of treatment. All this super detailed info is paving the way for brand new kinds of therapy.
This is where it all clicks into place. You take the data on balance, you take the data on cognition, you put them together, and boom, you can create personalized VR rehabilitation programs. Just imagine that for a second. A totally safe, virtual world where a patient can practice the exact real-life situations that give them the most trouble. This means we can create treatment plans that are perfectly tailored to one person's unique challenges. And hey, this kind of tech could be a game changer for other conditions too, like Alzheimer's.
So really the big takeaway is this. We have to stop just treating one symptom at a time. The real goal, the future, is a comprehensive approach. It's about treating the whole person, not just the tremor or the memory slip. It's about tackling the physical and the cognitive problems at the same time, because we now know for sure that they're 2 sides of the same coin.
And all of this leads to a pretty wild question, doesn't it? As this kind of technology, VR, machine learning, gamified tests gets better and better, could the future of brain therapy look less like a doctor's office and more like a video game? I mean, just think about that. It's a really powerful idea, and honestly, it offers a tremendous amount of hope.